Hey, so guess what? You remember the guy who bought Paramount for Israel, the Zionists, the Ellison family bought. So they own CBS News. They own 60 Minutes. Uh, Now they're gonna buy Warner Brothers.
Oh,
So the Zionists now straight up own over 1/6 of the U.S. media. Plus, they own TikTok, one of the most popular. Boy, here's what Glenn Greenwald says. He says Larry Ellison, the largest ever donor to Friends of the IDF. So he's the largest ever donor to the Israeli army, is not content with having bought Paramount and CBS News, not leading the consortium, and now nor leading the consortium to own TikTok. They own it. He's fighting Warner Brothers' decision to sell itself to Netflix instead of to him. He wants CNN and other media. So there it is. Paramount plans proxy fight to push hostile Warner bid. Well, it worked. They got it. Netflix has backed down. They got it. Paramount emerged as the victor in the months-long battle for Warner Brothers Discovery after Netflix backed out of the bidding war Thursday, leaving Paramount poised to acquire Warner's vast media empire, including CNN. So now they're going to have 60 Minutes, CBS News, and CNN. Netflix said it has declined to raise its offer for Warner Brothers after Warner Brothers Discovery Board determined that Paramount has submitted a superior offer. The deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match the Paramount Skydance bid, the streamer said, suddenly ending the corporate tug-of-war. It's all over. With the announcement, Paramount suddenly moved closer to taking over CNN, HBO, and the rest of the assets owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, or WBD for short. The regulatory review process will still take several months at a minimum, but barring any further surprises, Paramount CEO David Ellison will assemble a sprawling entertainment and news empire with dozens of TV channels, multiple movie studios, and 2 leading newsrooms. Wow. I personally think it's a great idea to give the Discovery Channel a completely Zionist bent. Here we see the red ants overrunning the carpenter ants because this dead tree log was promised to them 3,000 years ago. Okay. The change in fortunes come at the same day that the Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos held meetings at the White House. Sarandos was seen exiting the White House complex with a glum look on his face. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren, a staunch critic of both the Netflix and Paramount bids, immediately questioned whether the Sarandos discussions with Trump administration officials had something to do with Thursday's sudden change. Elizabeth Warren, her native name shows up for no apparent reason. That's what it means. What did Trump officials tell the Netflix CEO today at the White House? Warren asked in a post on Twitter, saying, "It looks like crony capitalism with the president corrupting the merger process in favor of the billionaire Ellison family." President Trump had previously indicated that he favored Paramount over Netflix, though he also sent mixed messages about the mega merger. Really? He really did? Last weekend, Trump publicly told Netflix to remove board member Susan Rice. That's a former Obama advisor, or pay the consequences, renewing the prospect that he would put his thumb on the corporate scale. So Paramount will now own all of this. So you want to see what they're going to own? You want to see? So now they're going to own Skydance, TikTok, Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes, DC Studios, Oracle, HBO, CNN, CBS, Nickelodeon, HGTV, TLC, Paramount Plus, TNT, Comedy Central. That's Jon Stewart. He's going to be owned by the Zionists now. TBS, Showtime. What is that?
Is that the Cartoon Network?
The Cartoon Network. Animal Planet, CBS Sports, Adult Swim, HBO Max, Boomerang, Cinemax, The Cooking Channel, Pluto TV, VH1, MTV, BET, Travel Channel, The CW, Science Channel, Food Network, and Discovery. And here's all the major franchises they own. They own the Game of Thrones. They own Matrix.
Dexter.
They own Mad Max. They own Dexter, Joker, Superman, Batman.
Mission Impossible.
Jackass. It's so Israel to take Warner Brothers. The Ellison family will now own CBS, CNN, HBO, Paramount, TikTok, and Oracle. Don't dare say they control the media, though. Isn't it great? Isn't it great to say? Boy, so people kept saying that the Zionists own the media, which is anti-Semitic, and so to prove they're wrong, we're going to buy the media. That's kind of funny. So I didn't make this post, and I wouldn't agree with this. It says 6 Jewish corporations own 96% of the media. I would say 6 Zionist corporations, because you don't get to be ahead of a Hollywood media company if you're anti-Zionist. So that's what I would say. And they list all of them, right? So Sony Pictures, Zionist, Paramount Global, Zionist, Fox Entertainment, all the CEOs are Zionists. Brian Roberts, CEO, Comcast, David Slavis, president. So Walt Disney Company, look, all of them. All of these companies. That's a lot. And this has been going on for a long time. It's just in the news now. They finally have permission to say so. What this means is the elites, I don't know. We'll see. But remember this? You remember when the CNN host, Ellie Reeve, tried to say that Candace Owens was repeating white nationalist talking points, saying that Zionists controlled the government? Remember this? Watch this.
You can criticize Netanyahu without being anti-Israel, and you can criticize Israel without being anti-Semitic. But some of the themes, talking points, concepts you've used in your criticism of Israel, I'm very familiar with from covering white nationalists for 10 years. It's very unsettling for me to hear things like you saying our government is occupied by Zionists, Trump is occupied by Zionists, we're an occupied nation. Because like, there's literally a term that's like an 80s, 90s term from white nationalism, ZOG, Zionist occupied government. It's their idea that Jews control the world. And I'm wondering, like, are you intentionally referencing those kind of themes?
Wait, just to slow this down. Are you accusing me of white nationalist rhetoric? Because I do have to have a little bit of a giggle about that first.
Well, I mean, to me, I'm also like, they'd be no fan of yours.
It's silly. But this is one of the things where I feel like it's such a lesson for CNN. This is why nobody watches it anymore. I mean, it's like you're sitting across from a black person. You're like, I've learned about white nationalism, and you're using white nationalism.
Like, I know them. I've been to their rallies. I've read all their texts.
I get it. I know. I'm so glad you're educated. But this is when it's like, put it in a book and anybody will say it. It's like, it's just at a certain point you have to use your eyes and go, is Candace Owens promoting white nationalist rhetoric? Okay, immediately no. So what else could it be? Could it be that actually Zionism is what it actually represents?
What does that mean? Like,
Zionism is a political philosophy. Okay?
Zionist occupied government.
If you look into the history, yes, I believe we are a Zionist occupied government, and we're not the only one. Okay, yes, and I take it to the bank. If you need to walk out of here and say Candace Owens is a white nationalist for you to be able to digest it, then that's fine. You know, you have to deal with that in your own time. But like, what I will say is,
maybe this stuff is ambient, and that's where you
I stand by every statement that I made, and I want to double down on it.
So this,
you can criticize.
So this woman, this Ellie Reeve, she's basically the mumbling girl who talked Jerry Seinfeld unwittingly into a poofy pirate shirt. If you remember that episode from 30 years ago. Only 30 years old, this joke. It works. Matt Stoller says, Democrats can stop the Paramount merger. State attorneys general have jurisdiction. California Attorney General Rob Bonta said he's watching it closely. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to stop the merger, Matt. Fingers crossed, I'm with you. I don't see that happening because, as Candace Owens just pointed out, we have a Zionist-occupied government. And if you think that somebody in the Democratic Party is going to go against the Zionists, think again. They got AOC to vote for the Iron Dome, for F's sake. Come on. So I just got a statement from California Attorney General Bonta's office. Paramount Warner Brothers is not a done deal. These two Hollywood titans have not cleared regulatory scrutiny. The California Department of Justice has an open investigation, and we intend to be vigorous in our review. This is going through. This is going through. Hey, look, honey, we've still got a shot at controlling all the media in the Western world. Fingers crossed. So here's what our friend, why am I blanking on
James Lee?
James Lee's name. Here he is. Here's what he says.
All of this is now owned by one single family, the Ellisons. This is billionaire Larry Ellison, and this is his son David, and they've been on an absolute spending frenzy. First, they took over CBS Paramount in 2024 on behalf of Israel. Then last year, Larry Ellison bought TikTok, also on behalf of Israel. And now the Ellisons are taking over Warner Brothers for $111 billion. Keep in mind that Larry Ellison is the largest single private donor to the IDF, and he just so happens to be very close friends with Netanyahu. They wouldn't be trying to run some kind of psychological operation on us.
Would they?
Would they?
Why can't Israel be doing some sort of, counterintelligence, information warfare like this, where they are actually doing the same type of, like a psychological operations in America?
All of this comes as, for the first time in American history, American support for Palestinians is greater than that of Israel. Probably all just a coincidence.
Probably all just a coincidence. This is not a Zionist takeover of our media or our country's government. No, not at all. It is the weirdest thing that a country of 350 million people gets led around by the nose by a country of what, 9 million people? So 350 million people in America, about what is it, 9 million Jews in Israel? That's kind of wild. Great work, James Lee. So there you have it. You cannot say that the Zionists own our media, because if you notice that, that's anti-Semitic. You can't notice that, and you can't notice that they're buying up all the media at the behest of Israel and Zionism. You're not supposed. If you notice that, you're anti-Semitic. You can't notice any of this. That your entire media is owned by Zionists. You can't notice it. You're not supposed to notice this. Wow. And I mean, so the fact that it already was run by the Zionists, so now it's super run by the Zionists. Now it's been purchased with the sole intention of pushing Zionist propaganda. Before, they just did it because they were run by Zionists, but now they're super owned by Zionists. Wow, this is really wild.